Right, markets just closed Thursday. Metals are up slightly. GDX, the miners are unchanged, so they underperform the metals. Markets up a little bit. It's a bit of an anti-climax, though, given yesterday's slight volatility, right? So we had a massive move up. But we did close quite low, so that wasn't the best close. So let's look at gold. Yesterday, bam, it was beautiful. I think I did a video pre-market or something, but not the best close. It's all about the close. We actually closed within the descending, but that doesn't matter because today we broke out of it. So today was a better close than yesterday, even though yesterday, one point, especially pre-market, it was really nice. The miners too, right? I think when I did my video, the miners were up sort of like 6, 7% pre-market. It really is that sweet spot when I wake up. It's either maximum red or maximum green. But anyway, today was, well, for the metals, it was better. For the miners, it was kind of the same thing. But levels, we've still got this same 4,800 on the way up. Got to close above that. I don't think this really matters. This little 4,860 or whatever. I think you close above 4,800 on a daily candle. Boom, 5,000. After that, 5,200 roughly, maybe a bit less now, thereabouts. So those remain the same. Nothing's changed on the way down. Don't feel like talking on the way down, but maybe 4,400. We're not going to get there. I don't see. It's so hard to judge what may or may not be priced in with the news. We're all hostages to this news. Does basically Israel wants to sabotage the peace treaty, but we are talking about truce and peace treaty already, so that's good. I didn't think it was going to take months and months. I don't think the US or the globe could endure that long. So anyway, let's see what happens. I think we're going to get peace. I think Israel will be told to just sit down and shut up. Thank you very much whilst we get peace done. And then everything will go up. So silver, 76, still got to close above that. Once you take that out, you just go up. I don't really know where it starts to stop. I think you have to look at gold for that because really between this 76 and 90, there's no clear and obvious resistance for me. 80 is a nice number, but I just don't see it. So that's good. Silver looks okay though. I think silver slightly outperformed gold today, but nothing too notable. So gold and silver were good. However, the miners were not as good. You'd expect the miners to be up sort of 2.5% or something like that, and we were unchanged. However, after yesterday's horrible candle, we did sort of curl a little bit. We're holding this new sort of support on GDX, right? 98, that was your resistance there, kind of support in the past, so that you could extend that line and sort of prove it was worthy before. But anyway, it's really up here. That was the high since the pump. And obviously we had this strange candle yesterday where it was a massive gap up. We were actually higher pre-market, I think, but gap up and just basically went down all day. Didn't close at the lows. But anyway, 98 is your support for GDX. So let's see if we held that today. I really don't want to start closing gaps all over the place. Let's just resume. Okay, tomorrow's Friday, but if we can sort of close near 100, above 100, that'd be beautiful. And then onwards and upwards. But, weekend, lots of news. People are probably going to be a bit risk off. I don't know. GDXJ, same thing, sort of holding support where resistance was. So that's this, yeah, makes sense. And the next resistance is going to be, the high that we just put in. So, this can go. There you go. Really about closing above 132 GDX. I'll cycle through them quickly because it's all the same sort of thing. There's your SIL support, 90 sort of 6-ish. And then it's all about taking the high out, right? I don't think we're going to close above that tomorrow unless there's news. Another one with 100 SIL. I'll tell you what, the news, and you close above 100 on SIL, that's probably a beautiful weekly candle and continuation next week. Same thing for CLJ. So, can't complain too much. We've had a nice bounce. Let's just bring it back to GDX. I was looking at this earlier. The bounce from the low to the high, basically 30%, and where we are now, 25%. That's okay. Oh yeah, trims. I've done very little. In fact, I've done one. It was Wheaton today. That day there, when we were up 7% pre-market, normally I'd be trimming all over the place. I didn't trim anything. I just wasn't prepared for it. This is rookie mistake. It's absolutely negligent on my part. I should always have trims in, but I was already happy. selling the two tranches of everything I bought down here. I just wasn't expecting continuation, even though I thought peace could happen sort of any moment. I just wasn't ready for that. And then once it was happening pre-market, when I was doing my video, I was just in a slight euphoric bubble mode, and I just thought we could keep going. And if this is peace, we're really going to go higher. I should have known that Israel would not be up for it, and bad news is not priced in. So I didn't sell on that day, and today I basically sold just Wheaton because I think I was putting in sells kind of just below the high they put in here, and none of them really clicked because even here at high of day, which is when I started to place my sells, there weren't that many that got filled. Let's check real quick before I look at the individual miners. DXY. That's lost the ascending. See what happens there tomorrow. Do we go lower? Oil, that actually has risen a little bit. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, big drop. I still think oil should be priced higher, even, I don't know, even without the war. I don't know. A lot of people think it's just going to flush down sub 80s as soon as the war's over, but it probably will actually. There's two sort of camps, the Rick Rule sort of, I think it's Rick Rule, right? Just oil is here forever. Prices are going to go up. Oil stocks are great. Peter Schiff agrees. And then you got, what's his name? Doomberg. That guy's very persuasive, saying oil is going to go to 30. So you got the two camps, even though they sort of agree on a lot of the macro thing. It's a bit, for me, it's a hard one to call now that we've had this big move up with the war. So I placed my sells on Exxon, Occidental, Murphy, and Devon oil, but they're little trims, like 5-10% max, and they haven't even filled yet. All right, whatever. Oil probably drift higher until there's peace and then flush down. Yields not too important right now. No big move. All right, let's look at the portfolio update. Newmont, which is doing all right. Look at that huge move, right? GDX is what, 30% at the absolute high. Same thing. Okay, clear resistance. Newmont is just really clear, the resistance. 122. So I think I got my selling at 121.99 or maybe 121.49, probably 49. Oh, 129.9. Jesus. Okay, well, whatever. Same thing actually. So pre-gap, post-gap, and then you got this descending. And if we take a long time, the descending just coincides too soon. So you probably skip that one, go straight there. But basically everything that yeah, all those levels for me are levels. Simple. I'm not looking at moving averages and all these other indicators, VWAPs and everything. No, no, just simple lines. My child could do the same thing at some point. So pre-gap, post-gap, and then here we'll see we probably encounter a bit of resistance. But if we're going beyond the post-gap, we're probably going to go straight to new all-time highs. They probably got peace treaty. I mean, imagine Newmont's trading in the pre-post gap area, and then you get a peace treaty announced. Like, how much is a 10% move to get to new all-time highs? That's easy. That's 2 days, maybe one great day. So, new all-time highs are seriously around the corner. Barrick. All right, that's not around the corner. That's going to take a bit more of a push. But okay, I agree. So 44, just under 44. Then you got the descending, then you pre-post gap, then you got this level and that one. I agree with that. Obviously, I'm going to agree with my own lines, but sometimes I change my mind. Here's your curl. We're bouncing around 214. I think that's twice in a row. Once you clear, is it this or is it that? Let's do in the middle. Let's cheat. Something like this, 223-ish, give or take $1. Then there, then I don't know if that's another gap. I bought a new mouse, so I should be quicker now, all these lines. All the little levels, Ignico. Otherwise, you just hold, do nothing, and you'll see it in your all-time highs. It is an absolute beast. Wheaton, very nice. Also bounced nicely. Green Day, clear resistance, 143.50. Once you take that out, less obvious, but this one is one, so might as well go for this one. Wheaton will make new all-time highs as soon as there's peace, like 1 or 2 days later. Franco Nevada, bit weak. Close the gap, fine. Yeah, no, that's a level. 260. Yeah, of course it is. Um, yeah, let's see. It's a bit weak. Close the low of day. It might take an extra day to curl and then go back up, but this will be your new, that'll be a new level. 273, and then boom. So despite the horrible candle today, I mean, this might be one of the first ones to make new all-time highs. Metalla remains a bit weak, closed red, but still not that far below there. So there's your little mini support for the last 2 days. Oh, if it loses that, it's going to go like visit its lows, low sixes at least. Definitely underperforming its peers by quite a bit, actually, I'd say right now. I am gold, nice ascending. So keep it simple. You've got to clear that on a daily candle. It's nice little ascending higher lows there on the daily. Bit green. Okay, let's see. Close above 2050 and then up you go. Pre-post all-time highs. This one could do it quite quickly. Equinox, closing the low of day, close the gap. Needs to curl and go back up. I think I am gold will beat Equinox to new all-time highs. The way I talk about it, it's almost like it's a given, but I'm starting to get a bit arrogant again with this all-time highs around the corner. There you go. Double bottom, hit the same place, clear level, 480. Once you close above the high you did so far this week, you should go up a level. Don't know where to. It's a bit hard to call. It's not going to go straight there. It'll stop off somewhere. Not so sure. Harmony. All right, close the gap. Fair enough. This will become, there you go. That's your support. Still a long way up. Geez, a long way up. This will be the last one to make new all-time highs. I'm pretty sure about that. Aris Mining, before I forget. This one might be the first. Close the gap and some, then bounce quite decently off its lows. That's good. That's still looking strong. That's not even a level, actually. I'm just looking at 2160, close above that, and basically the next day, the next move up, and you're testing all-time highs 23. Incredible. I should add more, I guess. But no, I've got enough in it, and it's just I just don't hear about this one anywhere. Um, Don, what's his name? Don Durrett. I hear from him a few times, but other than that, and actually, I picked up this stock from some random podcast ages ago, 2, 3 years ago. Cycling in the forest, best best bike ride ever. But since then, I just hear Don Durrett, and not that much. I just see it on his list, which he gives away for free on Twitter, which is absolutely incredible. But otherwise, I just don't hear anyone else talk about it. Anyway, this is a beast. SBSW broke out the descending retest. It should, right? And I think this will happen. Curl, go back up, close above this little 1380 high it did, and then start venturing into the pre-post gap and basically head towards 20 again, where I will be selling what I should have sold last time a lot more. I sold like probably 10% or something at the top up here, maybe even less. Awful. Um, that's it. Let's look at silver. Pan America, the best silver stock that I have. Filled the gap, hit it twice, kind of closing the low of day. Silver's up 2%. What's going on? Even the markets were up. I don't really understand why the miners were underperforming across the board, I would say. All right, next level though, 60, clearly big number. Close above that, we go to 64, and after that, it's the all-time high 70. 60, 64, 70. That's it. Plus Majestic. Okay, wow, that's really weak. After having just looked at Pan America, look at this rejection. Ah, yeah, this one was really, actually, let's take out the 15-minute chart. I was looking at this, and now it's breached it, of course. I had this there, and I was looking at it, I thought, no, I'm not going to buy that. I've got enough in First Majestic, and that's weak. Everything else was sort of bouncing, and this and it's lost it now a little bit. But anyway, that's just a 15-minute chart. It's nothing too crazy. But if you have any sort of drop now in the metals, this will revisit 18, huh? So I'm in no hurry to buy First Majestic. I've got enough in it. I'm just holding, but that's a weak, and that candle there on what should have been a really nice day. I think it was up like 7, 8% pre-market. Yeah, it's just really disappointing. That's the word. CDE, much better. This is my stock, my silver stock for 2026. I think this is going to be 30s. But anyway, filled the gap perfectly. And now time to close above 21. After that, boom, boom, boom. Several little layers, but otherwise should go up. But a nice ascending pattern, much better than First Majestic. Not as strong as Pan America, but today it was, I think. Heckler, this one just never really shown much strength yet. Ever since here, it's just been super weak here, right? Underperformed everyone. Here was just okay. It was going sideways. I think it outperformed slightly the others because some of the others started to go down, but this just drift sideways. Then down we go with everything else, and it's not really outperformed. It's just not underperformed. And here, these last 2 days, okay, yesterday was a horrible day, even though it was a green day. It's just disappointing. Giving back all these gains today is just okay. Still, right? Silver's up 2%. We're down 1.5. Shouldn't we be up like 4.5 today? All right, close above 21, then we'll see. These are the levels I'm looking at. Don't think there's anything really wrong there. If we have a drop, a bit like First Majestic, be very quick to visit its lows, not in a hurry. Just holding. I didn't buy, didn't sell, just holding for the bigger move. EXK, same thing. Yeah, when you look at these, Pan America doesn't look so bad, but CD is the best out of them. What about Avino? Ah, maybe Avino's better. Broke out of the descending retest. Not the worst day compared to the others. And then here again today, sideways. Looks like we're going to take out this little level here. 735. Well, it's really this one here. That's what counts. Close above that and boom. I'm not even sure if it's going to be up here. 850. 8, I don't see anything. 850, bit of support there, but no clear retest. Whatever. This is stronger though. This is probably the best silver miner. So it's an unchanged day, a bit boring, but yesterday was a bit disappointing. So I prefer boring to disappointing, even though we were more up yesterday. Still, it's relatively calm. I'm just looking for some constructive weekly candles. I think tomorrow, if we have a green day tomorrow, and okay, the Avino chart looks better than the others, but if we have a green chart, and imagine we have a decent day and we close above the high of day of let's look at GDX, the high of day of Wednesday, is it? Imagine we close above that. How much of a percentage move is that? Is that doable? Yeah, 3-4%. Imagine a little 4% day in GDX, right? That would be beautiful. That would be very constructive. A lot, and weekly candle would be there. It just takes one more weekly candle to go back up here. So yeah, and now that I think about it, imagine going down. Those silver stocks like First Majestic and EXK that are weak, they will go straight back down again. Um, so time to gather more cash just in case. I really have not sold enough. So I did my two tranches from the lows, right? Remember, I bought a lot there, especially on these days. I was buying also before, but here I bought quite a lot. And there was one pre-market day where I bought a lot, and it was like here, GDX. But anyway, sort of sold, something like that, and here nothing yet. Honestly, if tomorrow it looks good, I may do some nibbles, even though it suggests next week will be good, just in case something happens over the weekend. Israel does its usual, sabotage, kill everyone, create chaos, and then, you know, the war expands, the truce is over. So in case that sort of thing happens, I probably would trim tomorrow if we start venturing higher. But otherwise, imagine it doesn't happen. Imagine truce holds. You could just have a nice next week, and then we start venturing all the way up here into the gap fills of GDX at the highs. And some miners like Franco Nevada and all that, they'll be printing new all-time highs probably. Aris mining, Franco Nevada. So a lot to look forward to, but let's take it day by day. All right, good luck.